Finally, the time has come. We call at our first harbor in the new continent, Vitória in Brazil. After 10 days surrounded only by water, it is just nice to have something different than the blue sea around you. It feels good to see land again and for a change to be able to observe something, like for example the harbor and what's going on. The harbor is big and the loading team is already waiting for us. But first, the ship has to be tied up well. With the thin throw lines, the thick mooring ropes, which are attached to several bollards, are pulled up. And those massive mooring ropes are pretty heavy, not only because they're wet. In any case, the dockers are almost always several to handle this task. After that is done, the container lift trucks and the big blue crane bring themselves into position. The crane can be moved forwards or backwards on rails to bring it into the ideal position to discharge the containers from the loading deck at the bow or for loading new ones. It is really fascinating to see how everything works together. The workers are still waiting. They pass the time with dozing, cell phones, or just a little chat. But finally it starts. The local unloading crew can now go on board. The ship crew helps and loosens the chains and retaining hooks from the containers. As in Hamburg, the containers are transported by lorry to the crane. Then the container is packed with these giant tongs and smoothly hoisted over to the bow deck. The crane driver looks through the glass floor and has to target very precisely to tow the cargo into the gaps between the existing containers. But it seems that he does it easily, thanks to his many years of experience. At the same time, new cars are loaded into the ship. In this case, all brand new Mercedes Sprinters from the factory around here. They are designated for Argentina. And Globy is just glad that there is something going on down here.
As you can feel, it is air conditioned. It's not because of us, because of the automation. It is sensitive to high temperature and humidity. So from here, generally, we can control everything. We can start, stop pumps, engines. So main engine is Sulzer and 15,000 kilowatts. And for fuel, it is diesel. Of course, in order to be possible to inject this one, it must be ignited. So we need about 2,500 tons in order to make all this trip going to South America and back to Europe. The fuel in Europe is cheaper, and that's why we take the fuel only in Europe.
After the explanations of the first engineer in the control room, we can get a picture of the machine ourselves, which is so huge that you can even walk around in it. Amazing, this more than man-sized cylinder head. Of course, spare parts such as cylinders and pistons should not be missing, and also the tools are dimensioned accordingly. There is always something moving everywhere. And here the heart, the drive shaft. Like everything else, the ventilation system is quite gigantic. Everywhere in the engine room, sailors are at work to control and keep everything in order. This is definitely necessary with so many machines and the almost endless tube-running meters. Clean up is just part of it. Finally, after a long 32 days at sea, we reach our destination port, Montevideo. The sense of delight is huge, and we enjoy the drive to the last port of our journey. Once the tailgate is properly positioned and extended, unloading can begin. We can drive Globi off the ship ourselves. Peter enjoys being behind the steering wheel again after such a long time. Since the shipping agency has already prepared a lot for us, we can then quickly and unbureaucratically do all the necessary formalities and finally set out on new adventures.